for the first time in 2018 in New York, CryptoMondays is an event that offers attenders the opportunity to learn the latest trends and innovation in crypto and blockchain, aiming to both connect all industry insiders and enthusiasts and engage them in key discussions about the future of finance and technology. With a list of prominent speakers with a strong reputation in crypto and finance, tonight's event will put Bucharest on a map of cities where CryptoMondays has already made its mark. It's a great time to expand your knowledge, to connect with like-minded people in the crypto community, but also to get to know our new entity, the Emerging Technology Federation, which will provide a platform for communication and collaboration between crypto founders or enthusiasts and the state authorities, with the aim of fostering innovation and growth in the crypto space. And of course, tonight's event will not have been possible without the help of our sponsors, Vidilo Group, Jasil, Emerging Technologies Federation, Binance Romania, Tokero, Netopia Payments, Brand Minter, Sense4Fit, Creative Team, Business Generation Association, Aleph News, Oveit, The Grit Hill, Gramophone Wine, Vulpoi and to other management, and Bragadiru Palace. That being said, those who will take the stage tonight and delight us with useful learnings and from their knowledge and experience are Codrin Crăcuț, Executive Director of the Emerging Technologies Federation, Sergiu Traian Vasilescu, Managing Partner Vidilo Group, Ilie Pușcaș, General Manager Binance Romania, Felix Crișan, co-founder Netopia Payments, and last but not least, our special guest and the man behind this wonderful concept event, John Lange, founder of CryptoMondays.
Great. Yeah. Buonasera, Totaro. Everybody, good evening. It's great to be here from New York and being invited here for the first kickoff of CryptoMondays in Bucharest. I'm so excited to see everybody here. I love the energy in this room. And I want to just let everybody know that we're streaming this live all around the world to our 45,000 members around the world. I want everybody to say, Buonasera, hello. Buonasera to our global audience there. Okay, we have everybody there. Very excited to be here. Let's make sure that's proper. Okay, excellent, right? They told me, they said, oh, well, I mean, I was supposed to be in Budapest tonight because we had a big event scheduled for Budapest. But then I heard that we're going to have, these guys said, hey, if you come to Bucharest instead, we're going to give you some gramophone wine. And I said, oh, well, I'll come all the way to Bucharest from New York just so I can have a glass of that great wine. And then my friends in New York, they said, hey, you're going to Bucharest, right? Are you going to go to Dracula's castle and do the CryptoMondays in Dracula's castle? I said, well, maybe, but they've got this amazing palace in Bucharest that's much better and a bit newer, and it's got great art, and Marcel's amazing, and the wine's amazing, so I think we'll do it there. They said, but wait a second. You're going to have Binance, you're going to have, VD Law, you're going to have lawyers on the stage. Are you going to have Dracula? That's what they asked me. I said, no, we're not. We didn't invite the tax authority or FTX. But we do have some amazing speakers there. I'm really excited to be here in Bucharest, and Mulțumesc for coming. Thank you, everybody, tonight. Just a little bit about CryptoMondays. We're the world's largest and oldest meetups for around crypto, DeFi, NFTs, Web3. We like to look at projects that are leading projects around the world and give them a lot of support. So I want to know, and places like OpenSea started on CryptoMondays, NFT NYC, lots of amazing startups started on CryptoMondays. And as a matter of fact, co-working spaces and things like that. And I'm really well known as CryptoMondays, host of CryptoMondays Global, but also for bringing a little bit of excitement and fun into the CryptoMondays evening, okay? And they say that, I look a little bit like Superman when I have my sunglasses off. But I said, no, I'm not Superman. You know why? Because it's Crypto Night. It's Crypto Nights tonight. It's Crypto Night, everybody. Now, we're going to get some very good insights from all of these speakers tonight. I'm super excited to meet everybody here, and everybody's going to learn. But also, Crypto Mondays is about community. Community first. We're the world's largest community related around crypto and in real life events. And thank God for in real life, right? And so if you are interested in being part of Crypto Mondays as a member or as a coordinator, then please feel free to reach out to Sergio or myself or Crypto Mondays. Go to our website, cryptomondays.io, and then you can find out how to collaborate and contribute. But before that, one of the things I do like to do that's special, and I'm going to ask a couple people later to come up on stage. Sometimes I do things without asking. All right, that's kind of how we do things in America. So let me ask first, and let me take my glasses off here. Sorry guys, I have a little bit of an eye problem. That's why I wear sunglasses all the time. Who in here is a startup founder who has a startup, a project that they want to be seen and heard around the world with the crypto communities around the world? Because we got the whole world watching tonight. Okay, we got some guys in front, Tokoro, I know that. We got some guys in the back. All right, I'm going to remember you. All right, and we'll have you maybe up on stage a little bit later. Okay, excellent, but let's get it going tonight. Now, all of the startup guys, what's the first thing they say that you need to check or you need to think about before you go into a crypto startup? Am I good? Is it a security? What are the legal implications of this, right? Because is it legal is the first thing we have to ask. Is what I'm doing theft? Is what I'm doing legal? And so let's get the legal questions out of the way first. What's the situation? So we have the best lawyer in Romania who's got the most projects and the widest scope, and who absolutely was able to get me here. So he's definitely got a lot of connections. What's the legal status of using cryptocurrencies in Romania? Let's just get that out on the table right now.
Well, thank you, Josh,
thank
for
you, Sergio.
The nice introduction. So, like all over the world, if we have a green candle, nobody cares about legal. But when the red comes, you may think if some regulation would have been useful. So no, it is. We must have some regulation. Unfortunately, to be honest, in Romania we don't have right now clear, dedicated regulation. We have some, let's say, plugins in different laws. For example, we have some provisions in the tax code. We also have some provisions in the anti-money laundering regulation. And we also have a nice, little bit unknown definition of the digital assets in the criminal code. So there is no doubt that if you commit a theft or let's say embezzlement regarding crypto assets, you will be punished. Unfortunately, we are really waiting right now the regulation, but this doesn't mean that we can't have crypto, we can't mint tokens, we can't have very cool NFT collections. We are. It's quite very hard for us because we need to use our national and old civil code and to figure out how can we transpose different things in order to be applicable to this new and emerging industry. But by the end of the day, somehow we succeed. And the most common mistake is that many people consider that if you have revenues from crypto, those revenues are out of tax, or you don't have to register those revenues in your company, which is a very, very huge mistake.
Wait a second. Did you say it was a mistake?
No, it's a mistake if you consider that having revenues as digital assets, you don't have to pay taxes for them, or you don't have to register those revenues in your accountant.
Okay, so crypto's taxed just like money is. And that's exactly why we didn't invite Dracula.
Kind of, yeah.
Right? Dracula, the tax collector. I know, when I leave here, there's going to be somebody out there, he's like, I'm the tax collector. Okay, excellent. And then, so basically, if you do make money, make gains off of crypto, then you do have it's taxed, just like normal income, right? Capital gains. Now, that's part of MiCA. That's a European level regulation, or is that something specific to Romania?
It's specific to, I think, any European country. Well, also MiCA will have, I think, a positive impact.
Okay, so just for the audience who doesn't know, for example, the thousands of people that are watching us that are not in Europe, what's MiCA? Just tell us what MiCA is.
Well, MiCA is the new GDPR because all of us it's used to with the GDPR things. MiCA, in my opinion, it's a very good thing. We'll have a clear vision over the industry. We'll have new rules regarding those famous white papers. I think. Actually, MiCA have benefits from two perspectives, from the legal perspective and from the business perspective. Mm-hmm. From the legal perspective, as I mentioned, we have new rules regarding white papers, regarding the projects that we are creating. There are waivers of the waivers that crypto companies are using now, so they will be liable for what they're actually doing. And from the business perspective, MiCA is very, very cool because new jobs will be created. And because I think institutional investors will be now ready to invest in crypto, having a legal framework. So the demand will grow. So we will need more help in this industry. So. And also, with MiCA and with national regulations, local companies will be able to compete with international companies because they will be able to access the banking system. They will be able to be recognized as legit crypto companies.
So you're saying that local companies like...
And also lawyers will have a lot of things to do.
Yes, more business for lawyers. We know why he's really here, right? Not to mention anything about lawyers and vampires. But so, like, you mean local businesses, Sergiu, like, for example, a local exchange. Like, there's a local exchange here in Romania, right?
We have local and global exchanges here.
Tokoro, right?
Yes.
Tokoro. So we have a local exchange, a Romanian exchange, and they are going to probably have very good relationships with the banks. And then you mentioned institutions, and we want to bring more institutions into crypto, and that includes banks. Now, in regards to the relationship with banks and then providers of exchanges, how is that going to work? And this is obviously a question directed to Ilya. About Binance. Where does Binance fit in to this whole scenario that Sergiu has presented?
I guess we can facilitate that transition to MiCA. We can help the local regulators in that transition as well. And in terms of legislation, we could passport as well our services in the country.
Excellent. Okay, so how long have you been here?
8 months. I used to live in the UK before for 6 years, so I moved to Romania to open the Binance Romania office.
Okay, but are you originally
Romanian? Yeah.
You're originally Romanian. Yeah. Okay, and so why should we use Binance versus a different exchange, like a local one, for example? I don't mean to throw that at you, but I thought, well, you're here.
Yeah, I'm here because we want to offer dedicated services for Romanians. So that's what Binance does in every country that we expand to. We scan the market for what the market needs, what our clients need, and we deliver.
Interesting. Okay. You know, I met CZ in Paris, hung out with him. Yeah, went to Versailles Mansion. Versailles? I mean, anybody been to Versailles? Versailles, the mansion, right? I was in a private room in Versailles that's not available to tourists, but it's available to the head of Binance because he put 500 million euros into French economy last year and announced it right there when I was standing in the audience in Paris Blockchain Week, where I was host of Paris NFT Day. And let me ask you this, what are the plans for Romania? Can we get 100 million?
We're going there because we just opened a tech center in Iași, in a city close to the Moldovan border.
Amazing.
And we're employing a lot of people there, a lot of technicians to develop local products and global products for Binance.
Excellent.
For example, I'm not sure if you heard of the Binance Tax product that we're launching at the moment. So you'll be able to calculate your taxes on Binance directly.
Whenever I hear tax, I think of vampires. Sorry.
So you'll be able to deliver your tax to the vampires as it should be.
Okay, excellent. Oh, no, well, you know what? I think Binance is smart, right? I mean, I met CZ, right? I know the guy. I actually had a pink horse of my daughter in Versailles, and I took a picture with him. But it's smart because Romania has very good developers, excellent developers. You want to move a lot of people from Web 2 to Web 3. A lot of developers and people are in computer science and computer engineering are moving that direction. And I've also heard that so you have a quality level staff here, a lot of recruitment possibilities, but I also heard there's tax benefits for people that are developers. Is that right? They're not taxed if they're computer engineers? Is that still the case?
It is.
Yes. Yeah?
Yes. There are a lot of benefits for software developers and software development companies.
Okay, so in the sense of developing Web 3 developers and an ecosystem, part of the Binance ecosystem or other ecosystems, where do you see the future of Romania as a hub for Web 3 and blockchain development? Anybody can answer this.
I can give it
Please.
a shot. We are very well positioned exactly because of our technical capabilities, and hopefully this, let's say, movement towards decentralization will help us in the following sense. We were so far very used to be the tech development center of the Western world. So whenever you would find a big company out of US or out of Germany or France or whatnot, you will see that they will have most or at least a part of their very technical development stuff done here in Romania. And with this movement beyond an entity that will control and will give us something to work on, and being able to develop things much lower scale but with potentially broader impact and broader coverage from the comfort of our, I don't know, village, it's a benefit for us in the long run.
Okay, excellent. And so you seem to be an expert in this area. All right. So what are some of the challenges here? What are some of the challenges of building that ecosystem in Romania? Not just with crypto, in the sense of emerging tech in general.
Yes. Well, first, one thing that I wanted to mention is that we're having this talk about high tech in this environment that is very high class and very sort of proof of work. Yeah. And
this is the Bitcoin of palaces.
Yes, exactly. I mean, this is proof of work before Bitcoin existed. Now, in terms of let's say the entrepreneurial ecosystem, virtually everywhere, not only in Romania, this is the crypto angle makes people think that just because it's crypto, they don't have to obey the same kind of principles when it regards to developing products as they would have with regular
software
services,
or
products,
services,
services, whatever. Meaning that just because you can do a token sale, you cannot, you don't have to wonder if your product is actually worth using. You don't have to worry about getting distribution and getting users and get onboarding users and obeying regulations. Because
you don't need lawyers.
You don't need lawyers and a lot of, of course that this, there are a lot of misconceptions, and the only benefit that one can potentially have out of crypto is eliminating some of the intermediaries between you and the final users. But other than that, you're still in the same place. You still have to follow the same kind of broad rules, and you still have to you know, develop things in a sustainable manner. And one other thing that it's very particular to crypto, and it doesn't really apply in the real world or in the fiat world. It's fiat world, and this mantra has become very well known together with the development of Facebook, where they said move fast and break things. Well, this is one thing that you cannot do when you talk about crypto. Move fast and break things, because things that you break in the crypto, they tend to remain broken forever.
Or things that you choke
Or
could end up dying, right? Now, we've heard this. It's interesting, Felix. We've heard this. Has anybody heard the term choke 2.0 that's going in the news? Any crypto enthusiasts or people? Okay, it's an English word, and you probably so everybody knows what choke is, right? Like, I'm choking. They call it choke 2.0 because there was you know about this?
Yes.
You want to tell people what choke refers
choke
to?
point, Operation Choke Point. The original Operation Choke Point took place maybe 10, 11, 12 years ago.
Government attack.
Yes, it was an orchestrated government attack. Of course, a lot of the things that we will talk here, Choke Point 1.0 and Choke Point 2.0, tends to refer very much on the US market, but as we all know, whenever the US market gets cold, Europe sneezes, or the other way around. So a lot of the things that happen in crypto today are very, very well tethered, and not necessarily in the way tether as in the Tether stablecoin, but tethered as in linked to what happens in the financial and regulatory regime in the US. So Operation Choke Point 1.0 took place during the first mandate of Obama, and it referred to drastically limiting access to a lot of non-desirable businesses. And one that I remember was the firearms sellers. And I think that even the marijuana, the legal marijuana and tobacco, a lot of them, they had to basically renounce all the linkage with the federal financial system and only rely on the state level things. So what we see these days, and I mean literally last week and even today, if you follow the news, you've seen this thing about BUSD, which is issued by Paxos, and Paxos has got a so-called Wells notice from the SEC stating that what they are doing is security and they need to more or less shut it down. And last week it was the fine on Kraken, 30 million fine on Kraken, and a lot of other, for instance, Custodia Bank, if you know, they were applying to get Fed membership, meaning to become a Fed correspondent bank, and it's not official yet, but they will probably get denied this. Why? It's only because of their connection to crypto. And in here, I think that it's a bigger macro level, and I'm sort of a, I don't know, let's say conspirationist when it comes to state attacks on individual freedoms, because crypto has the potential to move individuals out of the surveillance of the state and out of the control of the state. They need to to kill it while it's still in its infancy. And this is why all these governmental entities like the Office for Currency Control and SEC and CFTC and all the 3- and 4-letter agencies are gunning down on crypto. And I believe that the ultimate, that there are two goals. Well, one which will be the introduction of the heavily reliance on CBDCs. And of course, before that, we will see a drastic drawdown on anything that connects crypto, the world that we live in or we work in today, with the regular fiat world. So all these bridges will sooner or later get killed.
So that's the idea, right?
Yes.
So the idea is like what China did, is introduce their CBDC, or their central bank digital currency, was the stable coin from the central bank, and then kill crypto or chokehold. But it seems to be what America's doing is biting into the neck of crypto and then sucking out all of its blood.
Yes.
I'm not equating the U.S. government with vampires.
Yes, it's a different form of vampirism, but it's still...
For sure, and they are trying to do it in a democratic way by attacking, directing the fundamentals. So now they are trying to, let's say, ban the staking, and they are quite right, because you will see, and I will also advise our clients, you will see many projects trying to offer this, let's say, source of revenue, stake your tokens here and you will earn something.
Sure.
But and they will exploit this, because if you have a normal token, which is and you don't have your own blockchain, and you create a pool and you will say, okay, this is a staking program. That's not staking. That's at least locking, and it's a huge difference between locking and staking. For staking, you must have your own blockchain, and the locked tokens must be used in a validating process, not just if you use a token and you just lock it, you offer revenues.
Yep.
It's only locking, and this is an additional form of revenues. Which is an alternative for the banking system, and they started by banning. They started to ban this staking all over the world by analyzing different staking programs, and this is only their first step in trying to destroy the fundamentals of the crypto market, which is designed as we know today.
Okay. Like a stake in the heart staking, huh?
Somehow, yeah.
But so now this is where we get to the really interesting stuff, which is this new federation of emerging technologies, which is another reason why I wanted to come here today instead of a different Crypto Mondays in many different cities, because this is an exciting development, and I'm sure that we can discuss this in quite some detail, but we don't have time because Crypto Mondays is about networking too. But we still want to get to this point about how does Romania prevent some of these U.S. government vampire-like ideas to kill crypto, to suck out crypto's blood? How do we keep the blood in the body, and how is this emerging tech federation going to help both the private and public sector come to a better understanding of the value and the purpose of crypto?
Well, in Romanian, we have a way of saying that it's better to prevent than to heal after. So we are trying to prevent some things now that can appear, and what we do want to do from the start is to coagulate all the industry into a single voice. We are aware of the fact that this kind of projects came before us, and what we are militating for is communication. What we do want to do is to bring at the table all the professionals, all the people that have knowledge in different fields, that can have a good incentive at what we are trying to do. So to prevent is to be at the same table and to have the same voice.
Excellent. Okay. And so, so you're talking about the difference between Binance coming in here to Romania and say, yeah, we're going to set up shop, we're going to do our thing until the government kicks us out. Instead, you're saying, hey, wait a second, let's have the discussion right away and let's prevent any of those disasters by actually bringing people together to discuss the main issues and topics and then come to a decision.
Well, here things are a bit different because if we are talking from an educational part, we were raised here in Romania, not in the type of education to collaborate. It's a competitional part.
Okay.
So I want to kill somehow this narrative from the start. Everyone can compete. But if we have the same interest, and I want everyone to be aware that life is based on interests.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have the same interests, and again, the same voice, you can compete outside. But if you wake up, I don't know, in the morning, and you see whatever the name of the project is, that you can't do anything in Romania, for example, or in Bulgaria, just because the state said this, it will be a problem. So why not to prevent this with people that have the same knowledge as you, and they can have the greatest incentives for these things to build.
That's excellent. A great attitude. And you know what? I've heard that over and over again. I go to Crypto Mondays all around the world and all the continents on the planet. It's a pretty cool thing. And I've heard that before. One of the arguments I've heard is crypto's still pretty small compared to the rest of the world. And it's quite innovative. So why not work together? Because there's still plenty of fish in the sea, as it were, and a growing population. I don't know, what's Binance's thought on that one?
So,
collaboration or competition?
Collaboration, definitely. Especially
I knew he was going to say that. We all knew it, right?
Especially in the initial phases of an industry,
yeah.
I think collaboration is key. And for us in Romania, we want to collaborate with any partners and to make this work. Our focus in Romania is education.
Education?
Yes. That's
what do you mean?
For example, we started offering Binance Academy courses in Romanian.
Educating people about using Binance?
About crypto in general.
Oh, okay.
And we have lots of partners in Romania, including governmental partners that need this education, but also are willing to share with the public from their side.
Oh, okay. I thought you might meant sponsoring schools or something like that, you know? I mean, like, you know, some philanthropy work or something, education.
That's something in the works as well, yeah.
Okay, so like maybe some kids from poor backgrounds in Romania that Binance is going to, CZ, my friend, is going to put, let's say, 10 million, 20 million to kind of help some kids from some poor backgrounds in Romania get developer degrees and come into Web3. That would be awesome, right, guys?
Yeah,
I'm not making a suggestion or anything. I'm just talking about education, right?
In the next bull run, for sure.
But that's an interesting point. How ready is Romania to come into that education? You know what I mean? Like, where are the people, when I talk about, when I say, oh yeah, I'm working in the blockchain industry, and they're like, oh, Bitcoin. They think Bitcoin and blockchain are the same thing, right? So that's how simple most people are. I know a lot of experts in this room. But man, when we talk about education, where's Romania on the map? And we're not just talking about your simple people that are just, you know, everyday people, but there's a lot of really high-level politicians, experts in other industries, things like that have no idea. I'm not talking about Romania, I'm talking about pretty much everywhere around the world. Where does Romania stand on that, especially since there's a high density of qualified developers and tech people here? Anybody can answer that.
I think it's not about where is Romania right now. I mean, it's our duty to develop something here, and that's why we are here today. You're right. We need to educate the industry or our friends And it's our duty, it's your duty, it's our duty to do this, and that's why we are here today. And you mentioned collaboration, and I'm not saying this only because they are in the venue, but the local exchanges, without mentioning the name, yeah, the local exchanges, when I told them a few months ago, hey, Binance is coming to Romania, Marius told me, we are not in competition. We want to meet them. We want to do something together. And I have to mention that I was worried that they will see others as a competition, but no. And I was surprised. And this is awesome. And in this weekend they performed marathon across the country, trying to bring people together, trying to educate and to explain that crypto, it's not blockchain, blockchain is not crypto, and we are not trying here to do... Yeah, and Tokero is not in competition with Binance. Yeah, they're friends.
You heard it here at Crypto Mondays, guys. Tokero is not in competition with Binance. Okay, excellent. But you wanted to say something about that?
Yes, I wanted to say something because, you know, as ways of moving the industry forward, there were at least two trends that we outlined here. One was regulation and the other one was education. I'm more on the education side because if you look at regulation, and does anyone know what the biggest fraud in the world was so far? Well, no, let's not Bernie Madoff. Yes, so Bernie Madoff defrauded people to the tune of $60-something billion, and guess what? He was doing that on a regulated environment. So regulation is nothing without implementing that. So I'm more on the let's use the regulation that we have, and maybe we can get some regulations to specifically tell some of the guys that this is allowed and this is allowed. And then let's focus on the education side, because that's the way in which you can take a lot of the people out of the darkness, through education, not through regulation.
Oh, I love that. And I just got to
if you are educated, your focus will be transferred from earning money to develop something and earn money and receive additional satisfaction from this.
Right, it's like teaching men to fish and things like that. Okay, but just two more quick questions and then we'll move on. Okay, that's all right? Thanks everyone. I'm going to follow up on that point. He mentioned Bernie Madoff. We mentioned, obviously, Count Sam Bankman-Fried. And scam Bankman-Fried, crypto fro, you know, whatever you want to call him. And obviously that, we've had some scams in crypto, and the world events now we've got again Chokehold and Choke Point and Choke 2.0 and Choke Me Baby. Oh no, sorry. And so so basically, how responsive was Romania in this regard? Not only the private markets and all the cool people here, but also in the government and regulation. How responsive were they?
How?
Particularly the crypto enthusiasts. Yeah, were you quick to be responsive? How are we dealing with that here? Because obviously there's a macro issue happening.
Well, from the start, everyone panicked, like all over the world, panicked. But exactly how Sergio was saying 1 minute ago, in the educational part of the country, no one would have panicked if we'd had a normal program that would inform people what was happening. But everything was presented as a scam. Mm-hmm. So, okay, it was a scam. There were a lot of scams, and there will be a lot of scams. We can't run until the end to fear this thing of, this guy is building the biggest thing, etc., and it transforms into a scam. Scams will be, but we do need programs, and all the businesses here, and not only businesses, individuals, everyone has a belief. It believes in something. If this hall is full, is because these persons believe in something. So believing in something, it can mean that you can go further to other people, that not to implement your beliefs, but just to tell your belief, and maybe you can build a type of education of this industry.
Oh, that's very interesting. I really like that. So when you talk, now that's back to the education point. If more people were educated about it, they might not have so much fear and panic in those situations. And then if the government were more educated about that, then they would be able to respond, in kind and actually prevent further crises. And that's exactly the purpose of the Federation for Emerging
Obviously,
Technologies.
But for the government to, or even to government or to any other person, you need to be a listener. You need to listen in order to understand. If you don't listen and you act like you're a god, you literally can't understand, and you can't transmit any positive message or any message of any kind to the wide public.
Well, interestingly enough, we've heard about private sector and public sector coming together and this and that. Well, what about the public at large? So will the public in this new federation have an opportunity to raise their voice or ask questions or submit comments? Is that being considered as well?
Obviously. As I said, this is what I was starting with.
Yep.
I said that everyone is invited to talk, to share the insights, because I give you just a short example that is coming through my mind right now. If you have one big state official from Israel, for example, that is coming publicly and says, this speech was written by ChatGPT. That was a piece of information, for example, that came to me from someone. So
it means that it was 50% false.
Okay. So we do have false information, we do have good information, and we have information in general. But what we are trying and what we aim is, again, to bring all the people together. It doesn't matter if you have a business, if you don't have a business, if you're an enthusiast. On the platform that we are building right now, it will be a place that will be specially dedicated to normal people that are enthusiasts, to bring information and to bring incentives, because there's another paradigm. That the information is huge right now. The amount of information that comes to you,
Sure.
to Felix, to me, to everyone, is huge. So you need to know how to select it.
And we're going to have a fresh voice in the federation, because a very good friend of mine called me together. Can you please bridge me with Codrin, because we are creating an NGO for every Romanian wallet holder. So they will be all united in that NGO, and the NGO will be a member of the federation. So
Excellent.
It's stay tuned. So
yeah, and that answers the question earlier that I had thought of, which was, what makes a federation different from other NGOs trying to do these kind of things? And it seems to be an umbrella, what we would call an umbrella organization that enables these other nonprofits, NGOs, governmental organizations, and so forth to come together for this important dialogue. And I want to thank everybody for having that dialogue with me tonight. Before we move to audience questions, because I know there's a couple of people that have some very interesting questions, and I'm also looking forward to networking, hanging out with everybody, and having some of this gramophone wine is amazing. I haven't tried the Sauvignon yet, but I've tried everything else. So forgive me if I'm a little bit drunk. I'm joking. So I'm going to try everything. But before we move to audience questions, and then I'm going to have 2 startup pitches come up to the audience for the global audience after these guys leave the stage. And of course, you know, Binance is going to put $100 million into it. I'm joking. Oh, come on. Okay, but let's get to the last question, which I want each of you to answer. Starting with Binance, why not? Felix, go ahead. Sure. You know, I love you guys. Why should people, and this is for our global audience again, why should people invest in Romania if they want to look at Web3 companies and blockchain particularly, or emerging tech? What's a good reason to do that? Why?
Yes, it's not only because we have lots of experts in tech and everything like that, but we are very adaptable and we learn very quick.
Okay, adaptable, experts, and learn quick, move fast,
yes.
Right? I know that because the tech guy helped me out, like adapting stuff. And thanks to the tech team, amazing job, guys. Okay, good.
We have very bright minds. So we had, at the beginning of VDLaw Group, we had 2 clients. They at that time, they had 16 years old. So their mother signed the legal assistance agreement, and they are amazing. They have, I don't know, their brain is something different. So we have amazing guys with amazing skills here.
Young, smart people.
Yeah, and
adaptable to different situations.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we are very good with aliens. So we are more focused to support the others than to support our local friends.
Are you talking about aliens in the balloons?
No.
Or aliens from Russia?
Aliens from other countries, yeah.
Okay. So there's a supportive structure and infrastructure that will enable development of bright young minds as well. And okay, good, excellent. All right, excellent. What do you say, sir, Kodrin?
Well, somehow to complete, Sergio, I have a question for you. With what did you came here with in Romania? You flew or you came with the car?
I flew from Vienna.
You flew. Okay, you flew from Vienna. So
yeah.
If you flew, this country had a very good and nice incentive and a creation in this. So the bright minds that were here created something with wings that brought you here today. And I'm not joking. So
really?
there is a lot of space for business in Romania, and there is a lot of space to educate people that at some point will consume something in Romania. So
right.
I think.
And we're not just talking about blockchain there. We're talking about all the different emerging tech, AI, robotics.
Obviously, like you can't, when you speak about emerging technologies, you don't speak just about crypto and blockchain. You have biotech, you have AI, and everything that will come tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow you'll have a headline in the news with something that all of us didn't heard about. What you'll do then?
Yeah. Well, to tell you the truth, I was a little bit afraid of coming to Romania because my friends told me, they said, you go to Romania, you're going to come back with a wife and 2 kids.
I told you yesterday the most important thing is to be your kids.
Yeah, exactly, my kids. Well, with the ways that some of how the people are so beautiful here, it's definitely not a surprise that people would say that, all right? So we got beautiful, bright young minds and airplanes.
Yes.
All right, and last but not least.
I think that, if you look at the density of creative people per 100,000, per millions of inhabitants, Romania is quite well positioned. And also, this is reflected in the fact that probably Romania is one of the highest percentages in terms of GDP generated by IT industry in the national GDP. So it's like 8% by now or something.
Okay, excellent. All right, well, those are some very good reasons. Before we close out, I'd like to ask the audience to be able to, and you said that you had a microphone for the audience. Is there anybody that has a question for the panel before we close out? the speaking part of this. Don't be afraid. We're all friends and family here. Okay, that means usually that I've gone on too long. So we went on a little bit longer, but I still want to do the startup portion of the thing, all right? I want to say thank you to everyone here, all right? Thank you very much to Ilya, to Kodrine, to Sergio, and to Felix. Thank you very much. Give them a round of applause, guys. Amazing work. And, I mean, if you guys want to hang out and sit here, that's fine. Otherwise,